Welcome to Salem, Virginia, the 2006 NCAA Division III Championship game, presented on ESPN by Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Pam Ward, joined by Mike Gottfried and Holly Rowe. You've joined us one first down into this game. Mount Union, the defending national champions, coached by Larry Karras, going for their second straight championship. And this is the team that they beat last year in Wisconsin Whitewater. 5 receivers on the field, and Mike Joris, their senior quarterback, calls a timeout. So the Purple Raiders trying to strike first. This is Bob Brezovich's last game in charge of Whitewater. We'll be back to Salem in a minute.
The NCAA Championships on ESPN, the NCAA Division III Football Championship. Brought to you by eLoan. For home, auto, and equity loans, go to eLoan.com. eLoan, radically simple. And Yellow Book, not the other book. Call 1-800-YB-YELLOW.
City of Salem all gussied up for Christmas this time of year. This championship game between Wisconsin Whitewater and Mount Union. Mount Union has it. Second down on their very first drive of the game. Second and short. Nate Kamick, the running back, now split wide to the right. Joris throws it to Pierre Garçon, but he is unable to bring it in.
2nd and 1, a good time to try to throw the football to get it to Pierre Garçon, but just thrown behind him too hard, but you still have 3rd down to pick up the first down.
Mike Joris, the senior from Woodsfield, Ohio, started every game, second-year starter back there, but we will see Greg McKelly as well, sophomore quarterback who comes in, gives him a little bit of a change-up, a left-handed quarterback who runs the ball quite well. As the Raiders now face a 3rd and 2. And the handoff to Kamick. Nate Kamick drops the football, ran for the first down, but lost the ball.
I believe Whitewater's got the ball. Wisconsin Whitewater.
And they do. So Nate Kamick goes 18 yards, but then coughs it up.
Nate Kamick with a good move. He's got the ball in his right hand. You'd like to switch it to the left hand on the outside, but just a defender just came by and reached out, Ben Farley, and made the ball come out. Big turnover for Mount Union. Fumble recovery by Rob Weddick.
So Nate Kamick, coming off a 371-yard effort last week against St. John Fisher, puts the ball on the ground, and here comes Wisconsin Whitewater. Justin Jacobs, their senior quarterback, goes down. Terrific coverage downfield by the Raiders as he is sacked for a 7-yard loss.
Good job by the defense covering the wide receivers. Justin Stickley, number 5, is going to get in here and put pressure on Justin Jacobs. Also, Nick Parr.
That is the 54th sack by Mount Union this season. So now 2nd and 17, and the first carry for Justin Beaver, who broke his collarbone earlier this season, picked up 5 in his first carry of this game. Wisconsin Whitewater, like Mount Union, coming in 14-0 on the season. Pete Schmidt, their talented tight end, number 2, Derek Stanley, their leading receiver, with 57 catches on the year, and a season record 17 touchdown catches. That's a season record for Whitewater, and there is the offensive line. Brady Ramseer goes 308 at his left guard spot. That pass complete to Derek Stanley, the leading receiver we just told you about. Jonah Wilson with the coverage, but not before Stanley picked up 9 yards. Now the Mount Union defense, one of the best in the country, first against the rush. Opponents averaging only 1 yard per carry. You've already seen the damage that Justin Stickley and Nick Parr can put on players. They play a 5-2-5 configuration, And there are the 5 guys in the defensive backfield. Matt Kostelnik, the star number 9 in the backfield. On 4th and 3, first punt of the day, Nick Croak gets it off. A towering punt that Justin Ray fields. And Ray is able to break away from a couple of would-be tacklers. 43-yard punt and an 8-yard return. So Mount Union gets the football back for the second time as Mount Union and Wisconsin Whitewater play for the national championship. Again, the site for the Division III national championship. Salem right next door to Roanoke, Virginia. It's become the second home for the Mount Union Purple Raiders, going for their 9th national championship. Mike George still a quarterback, a little play action. He is going up top for Garcon, and Garcon adjusted to it, and the ball is almost intercepted. Garcon got a hand on it, as did Ben Farley, the true freshman. Mount Union's offense begins with Nate Kmick coming in with over 2,200 yards on the season. Garcon by far their leading receiver with 59 catches coming in. Next is Antonucci, the tight end, with only 16 catches on the season. And the offensive line up front averages 291 pounds. And the Lions, historically, the strength of this Mount Union and the Ohio Athletic Conference. As Kmick, good job by this Whitewater defense to bottle him up, as he only gets maybe 1 or 2 yards. That Whitewater defense that has been so good so far this season. Ryan Kleppe, number 95, what a story he is. He's a Dean's List student and also their leader and a Ghilardi finalist as a defensive lineman. Rabel Borzik among the linebackers, all of them recognized by their conference this year. And in the backfield, we've already seen Ben Farley make a couple of big plays, and nothing doing for Mike Joris as A.J. Rabel comes in and drops him for a 4-yard loss.
Cam, when Wisconsin Whitewater left the field last year in the same stadium and lost to Mount Union, they knew they could have won that football game. And to a player, they said, we want a rematch with Mount Union. We believe we can win. This team believes. They have confidence.
They felt they were maybe ahead of the curve last year coming in so young, but now they swear they are not in awe of the experience as Greg McKaylee gets off the punt. Neil Murkvika fair catches it at the 30. That's a 41-yard punt for McKaylee, the backup quarterback, and also has emerged as the number 1 punter. We are still scoreless here as Nate Kmick and the rest of Mount Union knotted up zip-zip in Whitewater. This telecast is available on ESPN HD, presented by Pioneer Plasma Displays. And we are nestled here, a very beautiful setting in Salem, Virginia. Scoreless in the Division III championship game. Justin Beaver, who set a Division III record for yardage in the season last year, picks up 6. Bob Brezowitz, in his 22nd year in charge of Wisconsin Whitewater, will indeed retire after this game. He's been with Whitewater just about his entire career, was a very good quarterback for them as well. And what has to be a very emotional day for him. 5 receivers in, and they throw it. That could be a backwards pass.
It is.
Smart play by Garcon to chase it out of bounds as they were looking for Justin Beaver. For more on Brezowitz, let's go down to the field in Holly Rowe.
Well, guys, it's bound to be an emotional day as Bob Brezowitz coaches his last game for Wisconsin Whitewater. I asked him yesterday what emotions are going through his mind. He said, you know, it's not about me. It's about us at this point. It's about our team, about our seniors. He said that his words that he told his team before they took the field today, have fun, relax, and enjoy this moment. He's trying to shift the focus from himself and his last game to his team, trying to compete for a championship.
That's right, Holly. He says the most important thing is that his kids graduate and then go out and be productive in society. They lost 16 yards, by the way, on that backwards pass and went out of bounds. And then Beaver goes down immediately as he is met by a bevy of Mount Union defenders. Number 45 is Chaz Yoder.
They've had 2 series where they have made mistakes, got sacked on one for big yardage. The incomplete pass where they threw behind the line of scrimmage was the second mistake.
They have lost 3 total yards now on their 2 possessions as Justin Ray gets good hang time again. Excuse me, the punter Croak gets good hand time as Ray catches it. A flag is down as Ray gets the ball around the 40-yard line, but we'll check the marker. This is a North Coast Athletic Conference crew as they got Mount Union. That's Tom Sawarik, the official. 41 years he's been an official. First national championship game.
Well, they're doing a good job here in the first quarter.
During the return, illegal block and flag, number 8 on the receiving team. 10-yard penalty, automatic first down.
They get Nick Barron for that. And it pushes him back to the 34-yard line. Larry Karras has done such a great job with this Mount Union team. Such an understated guy. Is that an Ohio thing, Mike?
I don't know. I tell you, Larry Karras, Ray Dempsey, he coached with the Bowling Green on Don Neyland's staff, said he's a humble guy then. He's still a humble guy.
He really is. Very soft-spoken. And another guy like Brezowitz who deflects the attention to his players. Play action. And Joris has his man. That's the guy he's looking for. Pierre Garcon, the junior from West Palm Beach, Florida. 25 big yards and a first down.
And Pierre Garcon with a good fake by Mike Joris. He makes this play with this fake. Garcon comes down, runs a corner route, gets a DB turned all the way around. Flag on the play.
Yep, all that work, and it's coming back.
Hold on the offense, number 65. 10-yard penalty, still first down.
Hey, Pam, I want to tell you this. Larry Karras, in 21 years, I looked at this and I said, it's got to be a typographical error. He's won 245 games, lost 20.
Yeah, that doesn't seem
tied
possible.
3. It doesn't seem possible.
That is a 92% winning percentage for him in 21 seasons as Kamick gets it, and he is spun down around the 33-yard line. He picked up 4. That holding penalty negated a 25-yard gain that would have put them into Whitewater territory.
I can understand both these teams because, you know, mistakes are going to happen. You're playing for a national championship on the field. You're 1 and 2. You played here last year. You know the scene. All of a sudden, they're tight, and they're making some mistakes early in this football game.
This is the first time in the 34-year history of the Stag Bowl that we have had repeat participants from the season before. Kamick faked to Joris for Garcon, who reaches out and gathers it in, and now they say it's incomplete. Garcon had it momentarily, and the officials say no catch.
And Ben Farley, Pam, made a hit on Pierre Garcon that dislodged this football. Good fake again by Mike Joris. He's doing a good job of play action. Watch Farley. The ball's caught. Farley gets his hand in there and knocks down. And the fans want a replay. The Mount Union fans.
And there is replay in this championship game.
I think it's an incomplete pass.
With the snap, Joris over the middle, and that pass is incomplete, going for Ray. He's one of the faster guys on this team, runs about a 4.40, but is unable to catch that one, and they're going to have to punt again.
And now you think about the backup quarterback, McKaylee, coming in the next series, maybe. But Mike Joris has done nothing wrong. He's right on target with his passing. But Greg McKaylee gives you another different dimension.
Neil Murkvica back again to get the punt. Mountain Union now with 3 possessions and 0 points. This is from a team that averages 45 points a game. And another fair catch on a 36-yard punt. Let's go down to the field again with Holly Rowe.
Well, guys, I talked with Wisconsin Whitewater defensive tackle Ryan Kleppe yesterday, and he said, you know, honestly, we left a lot on the field last year. We honestly left here feeling like we could have won that game. They weren't intimidated by Mountain Union. He said, we are coming with a whole new attitude today. You guys are seeing that right now on defense. This defense of Wisconsin Whitewater has Mountain Union flustered and making some uncharacteristic mistakes early in this game.
Yeah, they do seem to be playing like they belong here. The last time Mountain Union trailed in any game, by the way, was last year in the Stag Bowl when they were down 7-0 as Beaver lunges forward for a 7-yard gain. So the Raiders have not trailed in a football game all season. Both teams coming in 14-0.
59 quarters, not to be behind. That's another record.
And Larry Karras and company continuing to rack it up, but they have been unable to score. They've been hurt by a couple of penalties. As it's 2nd and 3 for Whitewater. Going right back to Beaver. This is exactly what we expected. As both tailbacks getting into the action. Beaver 6 yards and the first down.
And when you look at Mountain Union's defense, they've had 363 rushing yards against them this year on 380 carries. They're only giving up 25 yards a game to the other team in the rushing department. So they've been tough.
Which again sounds like a mistake. They only give up about 8 points per game as Whitewater just picked up its first down of this contest.
We have a timeout. Wisconsin Whitewater.
Wisconsin Whitewater taking the timeout. They had 12 men on the field. And look at Brezovich. This is his last game, but he's getting into his guys. Still scoreless here. Wisconsin Whitewater and Mountain Union in the Stag Bowl. Welcome back as all of the holiday decorations adorn Salem and Roanoke. And here's Justin Beaver for Wisconsin Whitewater. Beaver, who missed 5 games this year because of a broken collarbone, picks up 14 more yards.
Carried 39 times this year against Wisconsin lacrosse. Justin Beaver's a lot like a lot of running backs around the country, that a power runner, has good speed, he'll make you miss. Now, if he gets going, Mountain Union's going to have some problems.
Beaver, very tough kid coming back. He had surgery, a plate inserted to help stabilize the collarbone. And they're going right back to him. And he lunges forward, only picks up about a yard. Last year, Beaver ran for over 2,200 yards, set the Division III single-season rushing record.
Yeah, that's 4 times, Pam, they've run to the left side, behind the left tackle and left guard, because they're the all-conference performers. They like to run left.
See the yardage, and that for Justin is an off year. This is the 15th game for both teams. They play a 10-game regular season schedule. And now with the 32-team playoff to their 5th game of the playoffs. Swing pass caught by Neil Merkvicka, and Merkvicka takes it up for another first down for the Warhawks.
Got a great block by Derek Stanley on Kostelnik. Kostelnik's one of the best defensive backs in Division III. Stanley made a good block.
Stanley, a 5'11", 183-pound senior. And he's also their big play receiver, but in that instance helped out his teammates with the block. Now 1st and 10 from the 24. Beaver is the tailback. They fake to him, and then coming around from his wide receiver spot is Lance Douglas. And Douglas takes a massive hit around the 12-yard line as he was smacked down. Anthony Ursetti was there to help bring him down. But it's another first down, 11 more yards.
This was a pass. They were going to try to pass-run option. Watch a tight end go down the football field. He's the intended receiver on this reverse. He fakes like he's going to block. He's behind the secondary, but too late. Douglas decided to run the ball and he made the right decision.
Good coverage downfield, and Douglas ran for the first down. 1st and 10 from the 13. Beaver taken down near the line of scrimmage by the star in that defensive line, Justin Stickley.
Pam, again, on the left side of the offensive line, they're running behind Ramsayer and Sakalaris. They two all-conference performance, but when Mount Union sees that, when you look at the number of runs in the first half, they're going to start moving their defense to that side. They're going to loosen up the defensive end a little bit, move everybody else down line to the left side.
Both of those guys on the left side are All-Americans. Jacobs with the pass to Merkvika, and he is nudged out of bounds after a 4-yard gain.
Can I get on my soapbox here?
Go ahead.
A second? Okay.
Soapbox.
Wisconsin Whitewaters won 28 of 29 games. Bob Brezovich is going to leave after this game. He's done a great job there. I don't understand why the AD doesn't move up Stan Zwiefel, the offensive coordinator. He's been a head coach, and they got 4 candidates. Why would you not add the guy Stan Zwiefel, who the players like and love, and he's the best coach on the staff?
Keep it in the family. Here's a 3rd and 4, and that pass is thrown past Lance Douglas as Jacobs had quite a bit of zip on it, and on 4th and 4, they're going to try the field goal.
Yeah, when you look at this, Bob Brezovich has done a great job, 22 years here. Stan Zwiefel's been here for 16 years. He's got this offense moving. They're averaging 37 points a game. Give him the job.
Jeff Shebler, true freshman place kicker from Davenport, Iowa. And for the first time since they were down 7-0 last year in this game to Wisconsin Whitewater, Mount Union trails in a football game. First time all season.
They're used to it.
All right.
They were here last year and they were behind.
They were down 7-0 and came back to win that game 35-28 as Wisconsin Whitewater strikes first. Shebler with the 24-yard field goal.
Now the question is, who are we going to see at quarterback? Mike Joris, who's done a very good job for Larry Karras, or are we going to see Greg McKaylee?
And there you see the first time that they have trailed in some 59 quarters, officially a 25-yard kick, they're calling it now, for Shebler. And there is a 2-quarterback system that the Raiders use, Joris and McKaylee. McKaylee, the sophomore from Upper Sandusky, Ohio. It gives them a little bit different dynamic when he is in there as you compare their numbers.
He's a great athlete, too, Greg McKaylee. He played on Upper Sandusky State final basketball team. He was a good basketball player for him. He can throw the football, he can run. He adds a dimension.
So we will see what decision Larry Karras decides to make with his team uncharacteristically down 3-0. Justin Ray fields the kickoff, and it's a good return as Ray keeps on pumping up to the 38-yard line. Troney Shumpert making the stop, but that's a 31-yard kickoff return for Justin Ray as we head down again to Holly Rowe.
Well, guys, the decision's been made. Greg McKaylee is coming in at quarterback for Mount Union. He is the more running quarterback, more of a threat to run the option, some of the quarterback draw plays that they like to run. And guys, they say that he is the young quarterback, but he was so impressive in preseason scrimmages and practice that he actually earned this playing time. That's been a policy of Larry Karras's every year at every other position, and at quarterback this year, he is not deviating from that philosophy. So McKaylee getting some playing time.
That's right, Holly. He says that it's just like if you have 2 good wide receivers, both of them get playing time, and he does not change that philosophy for the quarterback. As Kamick cannot quite turn the corner, does pick up a couple of yards before Tristan Borzik makes the stop. What do you think of that two-quarterback philosophy?
I like it because two different dimensions. You got Joris, who's a very good passing quarterback, and now you can bring McKaylee in, who can run the football, but he also can pass. But you know, when you talk about earning playing time, I think this team has won so many games. They're comfortable with whoever's in their quarterback.
Joris, the senior captain, second-year starter, has started every game, but McKaylee comes in and gets quite a bit of playing time. And the lefty swings it out to Justin Ray. Ray, being very involved in the offense, picks up 11 yards and the first down for the Raiders.
I talked to Brian Borland, who's the defensive coordinator for Wisconsin Whitewater. He said all week he told his players, when you see McKaylee come in the football game, now you have to be alert because the quarterback's runs. I think we'll see a quarterback run right here.
So McKaylee connects on his first pass after Joris went 0 for 4 while he was in there. First and 10, they're on the 49 of Wisconsin Whitewater. 4 receivers in. And there's Kamick in the backfield. There's your quarterback run, coach. As McKaylee, who's averaging just under 5 yards per carry, picks up 5 on that play.
Well, you have to dance who brought you here. And Greg McKaylee is a good running quarterback, and that gives you options because all of a sudden you spread the defense out. And now, what Larry Karras is looking for, he's looking for a chink in the armor of this defense. So he's looking at both the running quarterback, the passing quarterback, and then he'll decide who's going to be the quarterback in the second half or alternate.
How about this? The first quarter is over, and Mount Union, averaging 45 points per game, does not score in the first quarter of the 34th annual Stag Bowl. Wisconsin Whitewater looking for its first national championship, up 3-0. Second quarter is about to get underway as we join you from Salem, Virginia, the Division III Championship on ESPN, presented by Enterprise Rent-A-Car, and Wisconsin Whitewater with a 3-0 lead. If you want to learn more about the Division III Football Championship, for everything on this game or any of the 88 NCAA championships, simply go to ncaasports.com. And we'll flesh everything out for you. 2nd and 6 for Mount Union, ball on the 45. McKaylee, their quarterback, connects with Pierre Garçon, and Garçon, whose parents are from Haiti, got that good French name going. Stopped about a yard short of the first down.
Greg McKaylee, again, throwing the football. He can throw, he's accurate, finds Garçon coming across the middle, delivers the football to him. I think about Upper Sandusky. They're the Rams. I grew up close to Upper Sandusky. Dave McLean, who used to be the Wisconsin coach, probably was the best quarterback in Upper Sandusky history.
A lot of good talent coming out of that area. And on 3rd and short, a flag comes down after the play, as Kamick had the football, got the carry. And the face mask goes against the Warhawks.
When you look at the penalties and mistakes right now, Mount Union.
Face mask, 5-yard penalty. On the defense, number 40. Still 3rd down.
Here's the Borzik, the linebacker, holds the face mask. But Mount Union's 85-0 when they win the turnover battle. I believe most games are lost, not won.
Yeah, plus 17 on the year, but they've lost a fumble in this game. Going for Garçon, and he's able to gather it in and get a foot down for the first down. A 28-yard gain as Ben Farley was there on the coverage, but it's going to be 1st and goal for the Raiders.
Looked like they caught him in too deep coverage. Greg McKaylee with the pump and throws the football. That's a good catch. Got his left foot in, made the catch. Ben Farley with a good hit. Garçon's a big-time wide receiver. makes big-time plays. The only question would be, does he have control?
They are going to review it. I don't think there's any question that that's a catch. He got the foot in. And again, it has to be indisputable evidence to overturn it. Garcon named very recently to the 2006 American Football Coaches Association All-American team in Division III. He's a junior. Had 7 catches this year of at least 40 yards. He is the guy who stretches the field. As we take a look at it again. Yep.
I agree with you, Pam. I think it's catch.
After review, the play in the field will stand as called.
Got the left foot in. You saw the ball maybe bobble a little bit. But that's a great job of holding on to the football as he took a shot from Farley.
Pam, you talked about the quarterback situation. Am I in favor? I know this. Greg McKaylee has come in and given Mount Union a lift with his passing and his running.
3 for 3 through the air. 1st and goal from the 6. This is the other dimension he can give you with the run as he pushes forward to around the 2-yard line. Tristan Borza coming up with the stop.
That's the old single wing right there. You used to have Bill Wilkins in Shelby, Ohio. He used to have the only team that ran the single wing in that whole area, and he'd win every year. Larry Karras has changed his offense the last 3 years.
It's 2nd and goal for the Raiders. Trying to get the lead back. McKaylee throws in the end zone. Man wide open. Touchdown, Mount Union. Anthony Antonucci, the tight end, catches it, but a flag is down in Mount Union's backfield.
They were roughing the passer.
Roughing the passer, 91, defense. That penalty will be enforced on the kickoff. The touchdown is good.
So Eric Kosterman with the transgression as the touchdown stands.
Good fake by Greg McKaylee. He throws the football. This is football. This is not dance class.
You're not agreeing with the call there, Mr. Gottfried?
No, he just pushed him.
Can't touch those quarterbacks. Anthony Antonucci, his 2nd touchdown catch of the season, as Mike Zimmerman adds the extra point. And the Purple Raiders did not trail for long. Antonucci catching the touchdown pass from Greg McKaylee, and the defending champions break on top now 7-3. To Salem, Virginia, Wisconsin Whitewater now trailing #1 Mount Union 7-3 in the Division III championship game. Mount Union on that drive. 8 plays, 62 yards, used up over 3 minutes of time. And Greg McKaylee, the backup quarterback, connected on all 4 of his passes, including a 2-yard touchdown to his tight end, Anthony Antonucci.
Got to be very aware of an onside kicker here or a pooch kick because of the penalty. Now, a lot of guys will knock it out of the end zone, but I wouldn't be surprised. Eric Karras might want to pooch us.
Very questionable roughing penalty, puts the ball on the 50, but they're kicking away out of the end zone, so Wisconsin Whitewater starts from the 20. This is the 34th annual Amos Alonzo Stag Bowl coming your way from Salem, Virginia. The winner of this game wins the Division III National Championship. And for the 2nd straight year, it's Wisconsin Whitewater taking on Mount Union in the Battle of Purple. And the last game for Wisconsin Whitewater's head coach, Bob Brezowitz, who has been coaching for 22 years, and Larry Karras, his counterpart. As Brezowitz, obviously, what a storybook ending it would be to go out with the national championship. Justin Beaver gets the carry and only gets maybe a yard against this very stout rush defense.
Pam, I think for Whitewater right now, they have to find a way to get a big play. Like Garcon made the catch on the McCavey pass. You got Derek Stanley, number 2. He's the fast wide receiver. But you also have a 6'4" tight end, Pete Smith. He can stretch the field. He can run. Those 2 guys are weapons.
That is Schmidt, number 84. Beaver stays in the backfield and gets the ball. They're staying on the ground, and Beaver bowls his way up. About 3 yards short of the first down, picked up 6 as he is dragged down. 2 great running backs, as Tony DeRiggi brought him down. 2 great running backs in this game between Beaver and Nate Kamick.
And 2 very good offensive lines also.
So where it starts up front, the state of Wisconsin, the state of Ohio, kind of known for churning out some pretty good offensive linemen over the years, some of the big guys. 3rd and 3 now, as Beaver gets it, puts his head down, and he is stopped short of the first down, about a yard short. Tony DeRiggi again coming up with the stop for the Purple Raiders.
Mount Union doesn't give up much running yardage. Only giving up 25 yards a game, trying to get Justin Beaver on the outside, well blocked, but Mount Union just up for the chore.
So a 3 and out rather for Wisconsin Whitewater, as Nick Croak comes in for his 3rd punt of the day. Justin Ray waiting back on his 37-yard line. And Croak drives him back. Ray met immediately. Derek Stanley, the talented wide receiver, coming up with the hit on after a 42-yard punt. Bob Brzezowicz calling it a career after 22 seasons. We will have more on him as he is coaching in his final game.
The NCAA Championships on ESPN, the NCAA Division III Football Championship. Brought to you by Dodge. You can take life as it comes, or you can grab life by the horns. Dodge. And Disney Parks. We invite you to come live out Disney dreams like never before during the year of a million dreams.
Sun is setting here in Salem, Virginia, as Mount Union gets the football back, leading Wisconsin Whitewater 7-3, and Greg McKaylee stays in as the quarterback with 5 receivers. He gives the ball on the end around to one of them. That's Garcon. And Pierre picks up about 5 yards on first down. Gabe Schultz with the stop. And Bob Brzezowicz, in his 22nd year, has 8 conference titles. He was the Division III National Coach of the Year last year, and he is retiring after this game.
Wants to spend time with his grandkids. Bob Brzezowicz has won here. And only been 2 coaches since 1956 at Wisconsin Whitewater.
He was a star quarterback there, also a pretty good baseball player. Kamick up the middle, and Nate Kamick busts his way for a Mount Union first down. He picked up 11. Bob Brzezowicz talked to Holly Rowe yesterday about why he's retiring and how he wants to be remembered as a coach.
10 yards of voluntary by Kamick to the 43-yard line.
Brought you in to university as maybe not quite a matured individual. Gave you the opportunity to play in a program that you could leave and say you enjoyed it. And more importantly, graduated and went out in society and became extremely successful.
Mick gets the carry there as Brzezowicz getting emotional. We had talked to him earlier in the week, and he was saying all the right things about this is not about me. We're deflecting this. Really, it's about the players. But you know, when you think back on a great career, a place where you went to school and were a star athlete and a head coach, you can't help but get emotional.
Hollywood script. You know, win 28 of your last 29. Your last game's a national championship. If you win that game, I mean, you go out in fashion.
Pass complete to Garcon, and Garcon might have grabbed his face mask on that play as he is stopped about a yard short of the first down, but it looked like another face mask.
But the call came from this sideline.
Yeah, way
the
far
Mount
away.
Union's bench had to help the officials.
I mean, we saw it from up here.
Andy Murray, number 24. How about the way Greg McKaylee has come in here and ignited his offense?
5 for 5 and a touchdown pass.
Face mask. Defense. 5-yard penalty on number 40. First down.
And they said number 40, but as you clearly see, it was number 24, Andy Murray. And they say it's only a 5-yarder, so not the egregious 15-yard type, but it's still a first down for Mount Union from the 42 of Wisconsin Whitewater. McKaylee can carry the football, and he does just that. He is wrapped up by Eric Kosterman, the senior from Racine, Wisconsin.
Wisconsin Whitewater needs a stop badly. They forced 41 turnovers, the most in Division III. They ever intercepted 26 passes. They need a turnover. They need to stop Mount Union's offense.
Mount Union's offense coming alive when McKaylee came in to play quarterback. They already have 1 turnover today, this Mount Union, when Kamick fumbled at the end of a long run, and McKaylee stays perfect through the air as he completes it that time to Justin Ray. Ray, the junior from Pennsylvania, as he is tackled down after a 7-yard gain.
Justin Ray is the fastest tailback, so you get him the ball and he has some room. He'll turn it into big yardage.
He was the leading rusher a couple of years ago on the junior varsity team, and they use him a lot, not as a true tailback, but as a slot receiver. 3rd and 1 for the Raiders. And they did not get the first down. Kamick is met squarely by number 47, Rob Wyduck. 3-time first-team all-conference player.
And the way Larry Karras' defense is playing, I'd go for it. Right here, your defense has control of the Wisconsin Whitewater offense. Here's Kamick, not getting any yardage. Now here's where having a quarterback like Greg McKaylee, he's an option guy. He can run the football. He can run the option. He's dangerous on this play.
Mount Union just 1 for 5 on 3rd down so far today, but for the season, about 39% on 4th downs. Oh my goodness, they're going to throw on 4th and short, and they get it. They roll the dice, and McKaylee stays perfect as he completes it to Terrence Mooring. What do you think about that call?
That's why he's dangerous, Greg McKaylee. He can throw, and you roll him out to the left. He's a left-hander. Matt Campbell with a brilliant call. He moves outside, gets the ball out to Terrence Mooring, and a big first down. You're right, they rolled the dice.
And it came up really good. 7th catch of the year for Mooring.
I think when it comes up 6 and 5, 11, it's good.
Yeah, that's perfect for football, isn't it? Kamick trying the left side as he picks up another 8 yards. So Nate Kamick, coming into this game, needed 49 yards to break Chuck Moore's single-season rushing record for Mount Union, and he now has that
And
record.
he had a great block by Anthony Antonucci, the tight end.
Antonucci, number 11, is the guy who caught the touchdown pass that put Mount Union up 7-3 earlier in the day. But Nate Kamick, what an outstanding record. There you see the new single-season record. They've had some very good backs. McKaylee holding on to it, going towards the end zone, and he's in. Mount Union with a touchdown. McKaylee really sparking the offense.
McKaylee has been the difference in this Mount Union offense. Mike George played real well in the first quarter, but McKaylee's come in and he was hot.
McKaylee 7 for 7 through the air with a touchdown pass, and now his 9th rushing touchdown of the season. Mike Mike Zimmerman adds to the lead, and Mount Union has now scored 14 straight points to go up 14-3. Purple Raiders, 8 national championships, including one last year over Wisconsin Whitewater. Greg McKayley running it in for the 14-3 lead. Mount Union now with a 14-3 lead over Wisconsin Whitewater in the 2006 Division III National Championship. Greg McKayley, perfect through the air, 7 for 7. And he had a 12-yard touchdown run, went in untouched to extend the lead out to 14-3. McKayley, the backup quarterback all year, but has been in every game and really has elevated this offense after they fell behind 3-0. Zimmerman's kickoff fielded by Jordan Wells, and the true freshman gets a seam. Jordan Wells, only the kicker to beat. Wells taken down by the kicker around the 10-yard line. There's a flag as the tackle came in high. How about Mike Zimmerman?
That is a big play right here to get you right back in the football game.
Zimmerman, the kicker, running Wells down after an 81-yard kick return. Does get the face mask, but at least he prohibited the touchdown.
He saved it for a moment here,
right.
But he gives his defense a chance. Wells comes right up inside. On a kick return, you have to make one guy miss. He gets in here to Zimmerman, and you're right, Pam. Zimmerman never gave up. I see most kickers get the loser's limp and they go down like they get faked out, but Zimmerman stayed right with him.
Or maybe grab a hamstring or something. Jordan Wells had a 92-yard kickoff for a touchdown earlier this year, and that was an 81-yarder. You tack on the penalty, and it's 1st and goal from the 5. A great opportunity, needless to say, for Wisconsin Whitewater. Beaver in the backfield gets it, goes straight ahead.
Boy, he's close.
Boy, he wanted the touchdown, but they're marking him just short of the goal line.
Number 32.
Now that offensive line came off the ball right there. They attacked, and Justin Beaver ran that football as hard as I've seen him run right now. Let's see if they still go behind the left guard and left tackle right here.
That is the strength of this offensive line. Now 2nd and goal, 2 tight ends in for the Warhawks. And sneaking it in, Justin Jacobs for the touchdown. So Wisconsin Whitewater taking advantage of the 81-yard kickoff return by Jordan Wells. Gets on the scoreboard again. So exactly what Bob Bresowitz and his team needed, answering that touchdown that gave Mount Union the 14-3 lead. Jeff Shevler in for the extra point, and Whitewater cuts the lead back to 4.
That was big, Pam. Big.
Big for Bresowitz in his last game as a head coach of Whitewater. As Wells is taken down by Mike Zimmerman, the kicker, but it just delayed the touchdown for about a minute or so. Mount Union up 14-10. Welcome back. That is Jordan Wells, his 81-yard kick return, setting up a 1st and goal from the 5, which led a couple of plays later to a touchdown. Justin Jacobs, the quarterback, sneaking it in. On the other side, a couple of quarterbacks. As always, Mike Joris started, went 0 for 4. Greg McKayley coming in. Joris did have a couple of drops, a couple that his receivers could have brought in, but McKayley, there's no question that he's the one who's kick-started this offense.
But you're right, but stats lie. Mike Joris really had 3 nice passes that were dropped.
Joris has been struggling this year. A little bit of an injury as Shevler kicks it to Kamick. And Nate Kamick, the best running back going. is also the returner with a 25-yard return. Now, it's not been publicized at all, but Joris has been playing as his practice time has been limited because he has been hurt a little bit. There's been some questions raised by the fans, who some of them would like to see McKaylee in there all the time, but Joris has really been a tough soldier this year.
He's a team captain. He's a good football player. He's a guy that's a leader. He has a sore shoulder. He's played through that. Now, he's going to be back in this football game sometime this afternoon.
But for now, it's McKaylee's show, as he still has not thrown an incomplete pass, as that one is gathered in by Justin Ray. For more on Joris, let's go down to Holly Rowe.
Well, guys, the change at quarterback has added some dimensions for this Whitewater defense. Joris is not a mobile quarterback, as we've seen with McKaylee. Because of that, the Chris Simpson linebacker coach for Whitewater is saying that they have got great pressure up front. They're flushing McKaylee out, but he's so quick on the edges and able to roll out so quickly, they've got to do a better job of protecting those edges and trying to contain that very mobile quarterback, Greg McKaylee.
As Ray catches that pass, certainly has to cause entirely different problems for defense when he's in.
It really does, and that's why Brian Borland, the defensive coach, said all week they talked about when McKaylee's in there, we have to widen out, we have to be ready for the option, the quarterback read, everything. But that's why I think McKaylee's had such a good start throwing the football, because they're playing run.
First down run for Kamick as he picks up 6 more yards for Mount Union.
That gives you what the problems are for Whitewater. All of a sudden, McKaylee gets the football, passes it out, pitches it out to Kamick, and that's tough to defend. That's the option. So you see the option, the read, the passing in, the roll-up. I mean, he's got it all.
Now, the number's not lying on this particular graphic, as they have churned out some yardage, and that's the first incomplete pass that McKaylee has thrown. It was knocked down by Eric Kosterman right there, number 91.
Eric Kosterman is 6'3", got called for a chintzy penalty a little bit ago. He's blocked, he raises his right hand, knocks it off.
Chintzy.
Chintzy, I mean, it was really
It was a
chintzy.
wimpy roughing the quarterback call.
I'm looking
Chintzy,
for words
wimpy.
here.
How about bad? Does that work?
Yeah.
Kosterman with a good play there. Physical education major, says he wants to teach underprivileged kids when he gets out of school. McKaylee racing away from trouble and then throws the pass incomplete, looking for Kamick out of the backfield as a flag is down on the play.
Either a lineman downfield or holding in the secondary.
And on that play, Kosterman was one of those in pursuit of McKaylee.
Where that flag was called, I'd say maybe a lineman down the field.
Interference call.
Pushed off in the secondary. No, Pam, we talked about Bob Bresowitz retiring, and only 2 coaches in 50 years.
Pass interference, offense, number 11. It's a 15-yard penalty, repeat, second down.
Antonucci, the tight end, who's caught a touchdown pass today.
Mount Union's only had 2 coaches. Kenny Wabo, who I got to know when I was high school coach in Ohio, and Ronnie Lynn was a key assistant for him. He coached in the pros for many years with a lot of different teams. Those guys, I mean, they could coach the game too. Plus, good gentlemen. So I think Larry Karras has taken over for a guy, Kenny Wabo, who was a gentleman, real good coach, and he's kept this program going.
Karras was an assistant coach for 11 years before taking over, now in his 21st year in charge. Another catch for Garcon. And Pierre gets away from the initial trouble, but goes backwards. Tristan Borzik, we have him up here now with about 9 tackles tonight, so he is playing quite well.
I think everybody in the football team had a chance to tackle Pierre Garçon on that last play, plus a couple managers. I kept seeing guys trying to bring him down.
He should have gone down when they first had him wrapped up, because he went back and lost 3 yards.
Maybe a couple coaches even too.
But Garçon able to slip away, and this is a gargantuan 3rd and 28, 4 receivers in for the Raiders. McKaylee, a little pump, and then a pump and go as he was looking for Garçon, but Matt Wojcicki was closest to it, and a flag is down near where the cornerback and wide receiver were battling on the sideline.
You get a 3rd and 28. I mean, you hang it up there for Pierre Garçon. It may be on him.
Face mask. Some odd calls. You would anticipate some sort of an interference or something. Here's a face mask.
Face mask. Offense. 5-yard penalty. It's declined. It'll be 4th down.
You talk about a big drive right now with 2:59. Wisconsin Whitewater's going to get the football back. Here's the face mask. Boy, I'll tell you what. I didn't see that one either.
He just reached up and maybe got a little bit of it, but
I know it's a Christmas season, but
very giving.
Gifts can't be given this early.
That was very charitable. Mark Vicka smacked down around the 40-yard line, as you could hear that hit from up here. Joseph Millings, a sophomore from Akron, coming up. That's a 9-yard return. Let's go back to the studio now and Reese Davis. Reese.
All right, Pam, coming up at halftime, we'll hear from the legendary Keith Jackson on the true meaning of college football. Ed Cunningham's here for halftime. He'll join us in a little take-your-pick BCS style. And Bob Knight is on the brink of history, and he made it look surprisingly easy. That and a great day in college basketball, all when you come back at halftime.
All right, Reese, we look forward to visiting with you as Justin Jacobs going up top. He has a receiver, but a flag comes in. He was looking for Matt Gifford. The ball was delivered short, and Anthony Orsetti got in front of him.
Orsetti didn't play the football. They're going to call him for interference on Matt Gifford. Matt Gifford got behind the secondary. And Justin Jacobs trying to get the ball out there.
Hit him right in the helmet.
Yeah.
I tell you, we'll get the official call now.
Pass interference, defense, number 10. 15-yard penalty, automatic 1st down.
So they get the 15 yards on the penalty as Orsetti called for not turning around and making a play on the ball. Would have been a 37-yard gain had the ball been complete, but they get 15 yards as Mark Vicka makes the catch and picks up 6 more yards. Obviously, Mike, this is a big drive for them in the last 2.5 minutes of this half.
It's big, Pam, and Justin Jacobs got to take him in here in the end zone. They got to get points on the board here.
The Warhawks have 2 timeouts remaining. Beaver in the backfield. They fake to him as Jacobs rolls and completes it again. That's Pete Schmidt. There's finally is your big tight end. Schmidt at 6'4", 247 picks up 9.
There's the guy. I've been waiting for him to get the football. Now he's big, 6'4", 250. He can run. He can stretch the defense.
Coaches thought that he could have a big day today against the Mount Union defense, but that's really the first time they've thrown to him, and he gets the 1st down.
Now Derek Stanley's got to step up, number 2. He's on the other side.
Big play wide receiver split out to the right. 1st and 10 from the 31. 2:01 left to go in the half. Blitz is on. Jacobs calmly gets rid of it. There's Stanley wide open. Coming across the field. And Derek Stanley tackled down after a 19-yard gain and another 1st down.
And Justin Jacobs stands in there. He took this hit. then Derek Stanley coming across the middle, makes the catch, but here's where he's dangerous, making cuts and yards after the catch.
Well over 1,000 yards receiving on the season for Derek Stanley. 1st and 10 from the 12. And Beaver doesn't get much at all as he is taken down. Clock still running with 1.5 minutes to go. And now timeout is taken.
Pam, I can tell you this. We've done a lot of great games this year. We've seen a lot of great teams, Big Ten, ACC, but I'm going to tell you something. If I had my choice, I'd be right here.
Yeah.
This is a great football game. The hitting in this game is as good as you're going to see. The coaching in this game is as good as anybody you're going to see. I tell you, the fans are in this game. This is for the championship. It's 1 versus 2.
Both teams coming in, 14-0, and the true national champion will be crowned tonight. This is the Division III championship game, as Mike Gottfried mentioned, the 2nd straight year that Mount Union and Wisconsin Whitewater have met in the title game. First time that's ever happened in the history of the Stag Bowl. And a couple of big plays in this one. Jordan Wells with an 81-yard kickoff return that set up a short touchdown. Greg McKaylee has been terrific off the bench as the 2nd quarterback for Mount Union. We got ourselves quite a ball game.
And the Lord give us a beautiful day here. And Stan Sweepo is making some good offensive calls. We've done Wisconsin Whitewater team.
We're lucky. We've done this game before and frozen every part of our body up here, and it was beautiful today in the 60s, and it's still gorgeous as the sun is set. 2nd and 10 from the 12. Whitewater took the timeout. They're down to only 1. Jacobs taking off with it and stepping out of bounds a couple of yards short of the 1st down, but he stops the clock with 1:23 to go in the half.
I was watching Pete Smith. They're trying to get the football to him. Number 84 right here. But they knocked him around. They pinballed him. So they got him turned around. So Justin Jacobs couldn't get the football to him. He chose to run the ball.
3rd and 2 now from the 4. Whitewater with 1 timeout remaining.
This has got to be Justin Beaver time.
He's the tailback, number 32. They fumble the football. Jacobs could not get the ball cleanly from center, but fortunately, Beaver jumps on the loose ball.
Wow. And they're letting time go off the clock right here. You still have 1 timeout left. Now you got to throw it in.
Well, it's 4th down now. So what do? Do you kick it? You gotta kick it.
Gotta kick the field goal right here. Gotta get points.
Boy, Beaver jumping on that ball.
You know what they're going to do, Pam? They're going to let the clock run down, talk about it. But I believe you've got to kick the field goal.
Got to get something out of it. Whitewater has a good kicker, Jeff Shebler. He was 1st in the Wisconsin Athletic Conference, Intercollegiate Athletic Conference in field goal percentage. Brezowitz, coaching his final game, says he'd like to give Larry Karras 1 more loss because he certainly doesn't have many. He laughed when he said that, but I mean, this guy just doesn't lose football games.
No, he's a great coach, has a real outstanding coaching staff with him, and they are used to winning. He said, I'm going to recruit guys that have good guys that have a passion to be a good football player, and there's a lot to be said about that.
Says he can tell just by talking to the young man if he wants him to come play football. College Hoops on ESPN continues tomorrow night as Southern Illinois takes on Kelvin Sampson in Indiana. Sunday Showdown presented by Alltel Wireless, part of Holiday Hoops presented by Kay Jewelers. ESPN tomorrow at 8 Eastern Time. Still weird for me to see Sampson with Indiana.
How about Kay Jewelers?
Kay Jewelers, Alltel.
They're selling all kinds of diamonds right now.
Tis the season for Kay Jewelers to make some money, I think. Jeff Shebler trying to make a money kick. Already made one from 25, this one from 24. And at least they get the 3 points. So Whitewater could have been disastrous had they lost that fumble, but Beaver alertly fell on it And Shebler kicks it through. We have a 1-point ball game.
This is a great football game, man. I tell you, I'm anxious to see the second half. This is going to be McKaylee on one side. You have Justin Jacobs on the other side. You got two really good running backs in Justin Bieber and Kamick. What else could you want?
And it's a rematch from last year. For more on that, let's go down to Holly.
Well, guys, ironically enough, back in 2003, Wisconsin-Whitewater decided to schedule Mount Union and St. John's, two of the premier Division III programs in the country. They wanted to know where they were, gauge what they needed to do to become a championship caliber team. Ryan Kleppe, their defensive tackle, was on that team. He said, "We got our butts kicked." But he said, "We learned what it would take, the level of dedication." He said, "We let that loss sting for a long time, and we learned from that where we needed to be championship level in Division III." And guys, here they are, learning from that experience in the championship game.
I know you had a chance to visit with Ryan Kleppe, and what an extraordinary guy he is. A senior defensive tackle, about 6 foot tall, maybe. Says it's a privilege to play Mount Union. Said you couldn't ask for anything more than playing your final collegiate game for a national championship. Squib kick is taken by one of the up men for Mount Union, who was taken down at the 30 with 26 seconds left to go in the first half. That was Matthew Barge who picked it up and paid the price with a big hit.
How about Wisconsin-Whitewater? They said they left Wisconsin 11 inches of snow, cold. They got here at 60 degrees in Salem, Virginia. They thought they were in Hawaii.
Yeah, that's what Stan Zweifel, their offensive coordinator, said, that they were thrilled. It is like being in Hawaii for them, because they've been called. They've used the indoor facility at Madison. Brett Bielema and Barry Alvarez letting them use that. As McKaylee continues at quarterback, and Nate Kamick gets it, and that should kill the first half of play. Two great running backs, Justin Bieber with 54 yards on the ground. Kamick, 12 carries for 68 yards. In this half, Kamick has set the Mount Union single season record for rushing yardage. Let's go down the field. Holly has Larry Karras.
Coach Karras, your team trailed for the first time all year. What did you like about how they responded?
We came back real strong until we gave up that big KO return. We're going to go in and address that and try to fix it right now. But we're playing very hard. I'm proud of them.
McKaylee came in and gave your team a lift. How do you rotate the quarterbacks in the second half?
I think we'll go with Michael first, and we'll see how Michael does. But Greg was real hot. He played a great second quarter. He might be in there a lot.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Yep.
That's interesting. So they're going to go back to Joris, who does start every game. We'll start him when the second half starts. But McKaylee was quite good, running for a touchdown, throwing for another one. What a game we have. Mount Union leading Wisconsin-Whitewater 14-13 at halftime. Now let's go back to the studio. Reese Davis with a halftime report.
Come fall, the days grow shorter. The children have grown taller. The sun, low in the sky, hits the grandstands at an angle. Warming faces already lit up by the occasion, by the fresh crackle of it all. So ripe, so real. Young men reaching, running, sucking in deep gulps of crisp autumn air. Grasping for a go-round with greatness, grappling with each other on the grass. American sons, the pride of their fathers and father figures, setting the rules before letting them go. There's more to come. Career, wife, family, life. But the team is now. The team, the team, the team. Loving your brothers as much as a heart will allow. Fighting the tremble in your lower lip when you close up your locker for the final time. Oh, that sweet whisper of days, the stretch between growing up and settling in for what lies ahead. And the real beauty in all of this, it repeats. The circling world bringing the harvest and us back around year after year. Don't bother asking why. That's what the game is. And savored is what it's meant to be.
Going to be moments from their careers.
NCAA Football Championship presented on ESPN by Enterprise Rent-A-Car. And what a game it has been as we are getting ready for the second half of play. Defending national champion Mount Union beating last year's runner-up Wisconsin Whitewater 14-13 after one half of play. Pam Moore joined here by Mike Gottfried. Holly Rowe will join us in a minute. Mount Union has used a two-quarterback system all season long. They've used it today as well, and really the offense was much more potent when McKaylee was in there.
Well, when you look at Mount Union, they've blown everybody out. So when you run a two-quarterback situation like they do, you can't go wrong. But in this football game, you can go wrong. If you have the wrong guy in there for a period of time, you're only going to get so many opportunities to run your offense. So I think that's a big question Larry Karras has. Who do I go with? We know he's going to go with Joris, and those stats lie right there because 3 drops. But McKaylee will be back in quickly.
33 yards with Joris in charge, 151 and 2 touchdowns with McKaylee in there. Let's go down to Holly Rowe.
Well, guys, I spoke with Wisconsin Whitewater coach Bob Brezowitz at halftime. He said his mood in the locker room was very positive. He said they just have to continue what they did in the second quarter. He liked the intensity and the emotion they played with and the field position they were able to get. He said about the two-quarterback situation for Mount Union, hey, we came in respecting them both. We'll continue to do the same thing in the second half.
All right, Holly, and his team, Wisconsin Whitewater, gets the ball first on the squib kick. It is taken up to the 41-yard line by Trevor Hunt. Hunt, a linebacker for Whitewater, who's been forced to go over to fullback because of some injuries. Travis Rulin, the starting fullback, went down with an injury about a month and a half ago.
He did a good job on that. He got it on the first bounce, moved up the field, got great field position for his offense.
It was a 13-yard return for Hunt, gets it up, 1st and 10 from the 40. Very good field position to start the second half. Justin Beaver gets the carry, and Beaver playing incredibly, broke a collarbone and was out for, actually cleared to play 4 weeks after he broke it. Did not play in the first playoff game, but has been back since the second playoff game. And this is a young man who set the Division III single-season rushing record in 2005. And there's his cheering section. We saw some outside the stadium. Leave it to Beaver.
I used to watch that show.
I wonder, just way many decades before Justin was even born, but Beaver has been a terrific go-to guy in this offense, and they go right back to him. And Beaver stopped just short of the first down, but then he lunges forward close to the sticks as we go down to Holly Rowe with more on Beaver.
Well, guys, Justin Beaver is the toughest player the coaches say they have ever coached. I asked his grandfather, who's here in the stands, Don, what makes him so tough, and he said, honestly, his life circumstances and history growing up. His mother has not been a big factor in his life, and he was raised by his grandparents since he was 3 weeks old. His father was killed 4 years ago, and guys, he's had a tough life, overcome some challenges, and that's really what makes him such a tough kid on the field. Football must seem easy compared to what he's been through.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, and we have a shot, Holly, of his grandfather. Very proud, great job raising Justin, who gets it. Gets the football and is stopped very close to the first down marker. Very important spot coming up. Looks like he got it from here, but Beaver, one reason why he wanted to go to Whitewater is because it was only 7 miles from where he grew up. He went to football camps as a youngster and really felt comfortable there and did not want to be too far away from his grandparents.
Yeah, Pam, when you have a tough life and circumstances happen to you early, you have a great story to tell. And he's going to be telling this story for a long time.
Beaver, 5'8", 196 from Palmyra, Wisconsin. Trying to get that national championship. Jacobs in trouble, escapes and picks up a couple of yards.
They tried to go to Derek Stanley over there, but Mount Union does a good job of knocking him off his route. He was not open. Justin Jacobs had to tuck the football, get what he could get.
He was also being pursued by Sam Vucelich, who made the tackle, number 48. And that is the big play guy, Derek Stanley, a season record for Whitewater, 17 touchdown catches this season. catches for 28 yards in the first half as Beaver finds a little hole, slips through it, and is tackled down around the 44-yard line, picked up 4 more.
I said in the first half, they're pounding that left side. The left side's where they're going to run the football. Mount Union knows that, still having trouble stopping Justin Beaver on the left side.
Beaver, in addition to being a great running back, a great student, GPA well over 3.5. And here is a 3rd and a long 3 for the Warhawks. Beaver is the tailback, but Jacobs rolls, gets the block from Beaver, launches it downfield, and just a little bit too far. Neil Merkvicka, number 1, was down there along with Matt Gifford.
That is a missed opportunity. Number 1, he may have been able to run for the first down, but he put too much air under the ball and out through his receivers. Had a chance there with Merkvicka.
But instead, they will have to punt the football. They got good field position starting from their own 40. Got 1 first down. And Croak's punt goes into the end zone for the touchback. Let's go back a couple of plays ago. This is Division III football. Some of the guys are smaller, but they still come up with some pretty big hits. Mount Union up by 1. This telecast is available on ESPN HD, presented by Pioneer Plasma Displays. First time we've had high definition from here for the Stag Bowl. Nice shot of the beautiful Christmas tree as we get closer and closer to the big day. It's a huge day for Mount Union and Wisconsin Whitewater as they play for the national championship. Let's take a look now at Mike's Home Depot coaching adjustments.
Yeah, Whitewater find a way to run the ball and get the ball to Derek Stanley. Big play for Mount Union. Decide who to go with that quarterback. Now you got McKaylee and you got Joris. Joris, one quarterback can give you a lift, but also you got Joris now that knows he has to have something happen good for him to stay in this football game.
As Larry Karras told us, Mike Joris does indeed start the second half as he started the game, and he hands it off to Nate Kamick.
And he could be under so much pressure that he makes a mistake right here, because when you go in a 2-quarterback situation, all of a sudden you know you're starting the second half. McKaylee's had a great first half. You have to make something happen in this series to stay in the football game.
You see McKaylee cheering him on from the sidelines. McKaylee is thrown for a touchdown and run for another. And Joris goes down. He is sacked back at the 15-yard line. 7-yard loss. Ryan Kleppe, the senior leader, the All-American, scholar athlete as well, started every game since he was a true freshman, comes up with the sack.
He's 6 foot, 290. He picks up his 14th and a half sack. Now you don't want to make a mistake here with Mike Joris. All of a sudden, he's trying to get something to go here.
And McKaylee, the more mobile of the 2 quarterbacks. I'm sure some Purple Raider fans are thinking that McKaylee would have gotten out of that mess, but instead it's 3rd and 15.
Houdini wouldn't have got out of that.
Joris gets hit as he throws that, looking downfield, and it's intercepted. He was looking for Pierre Garçon, but Ben Farley, number 37, this is a true freshman who's broken up a pass, has forced a fumble, and now his team-leading 8th interception of the season.
And that's the downside of 2 quarterbacks, because when you got one guy trying to make something happen, you get this pickoff right here by Ben Farley. All of a sudden now, Whitewater with good field position.
That is the 30th intercepted pass by this Whitewater defense. Both of these teams coming in with incredible defenses, particularly against the run. Starting from their own 46, Jacobs up top, throws it. And they're going to say it's a catch.
Yeah, it can't be a catch.
Derek Stanley Stanley being marked in at the 30-yard line. He and Jonah Wilson had quite a battle. We do have replays, so they got to look at this.
We need to see this. Goes up. Yeah, he's in. I'll tell you what. But looks like it was close to being in if he has control.
That's the question, because he'll bobble it right there.
They got to look at this. I think he's got it in. Flip of the coin right here.
Did he have control?
Pam, I want to go back while they're talking about this. Mike Joris came off the field. Larry Karras stood with him and talked to him, because I know what happens when you're second quarterback going in. You want to make something happen so bad. You put one up for grabs. Let's see again. Boy, he stretches out. Derek Stanley's got his feet inbounds.
And you see at the very end of the play, it's punched out. So I think he did have control. Wilson, number 37, went in and punched the ball loose. And that was an outstanding catch by Stanley. First time that they have used replay in Division III this year, doing it for the championship game. DV Sport is the company that's come up with a wonderful system that all the major conferences use.
What do you say? They're going to give him a catch?
I would give him a catch, which means they're probably going to reverse it.
I would say no catch. I would say no catch. I switched.
We're having a spat for the first time all season.
All season.
This is what they are looking at.
One more time. What a good job going after the football. He's got the football.
He had 2 feet in, and then the ball was punched out. I say it's a catch.
I say it's not a catch, and that's my story, and I'm sticking with it. What a great effort.
Boy, great. He's terrific. The big play guy. He had 7 catches for 99 yards in last year's Stag Bowl. He was an all-first team in his conference this year. 8th in the country in receiving yards coming into this game with 1,059. His head coach, Bob Brezowitz, his final game. What a way to go out. It's either going to be a 1st and 10 at the Mount Union 30 if they say it's a catch, which they should, or 2nd and 10 at the Whitewater 44. Here's the big call.
After further review, the pass was completed. It's out of bounds at the 32-yard line.
Whitewater with its longest play from scrimmage today, and it is indeed called a catch.
Pam, I said it was catch first, but then I switched, so you're right.
Yeah,
I'm going to give you credit. That's a great concentration by Stanley. Stanley's happy. He gets the news, and Whitewater on the move.
So a 1st and 10 from the 30 after the spectacular catch by Stanley, but boy, Wilson with a great effort to try to punch the ball out. And the play stands as called. They actually marked the ball at the 32, saying he stepped out there, and then Wilson punched the ball out later. 1st and 10.
See if they go to the left side here.
A good tight end in Pete Schmidt. That's their strong side running, and the ball is loose. The ball is fumbled, and Mount Union picks it up. So one play after Whitewater has its biggest burst of the day, they give the football back.
Here's the thing you have to realize. Both these programs are great, but Mount Union has won so many championships. Tradition is hard to beat sometimes. Mount Union comes up. He never had that ball. Justin Bieber never got to football. Pat McCullough recovers.
McCullough, a first-year starter, one of 3 first-year starters on that defensive line, coming up with the fumble recovery. Third time Whitewater's fumbled today, but the first one they lost. Took a commit, cover up the ball, bounce out, and then go down for a loss. Actually, that was McKaylee hanging on to the football, so McKaylee back in.
McKaylee Larry Karras decided to go right away back to Greg McKaylee, quarterback.
Let's go down to Holly Rowe. Holly.
Well, guys, after that last interception, Joris came to the sideline, and he and Larry Karras had what I would describe as a heated exchange. Karras was asking him, what happened? Why didn't you throw this particular route? And Joris was saying there was confusion. That was the wrong thing. He went over and had some discussions with his receivers. They didn't look on the same page. But now McKaylee right back in the game, guys. A little dissension.
Good work there, because Joris did throw that interception. And McKaylee comes in. He gets dropped for a loss and then throws an incomplete pass looking for Brandon Bain.
Yeah, and Larry Karras handled that well, because one thing about Mike Joris, he wants to win. And he's the captain of this football team. So Larry Karras didn't get mad. He just listened to him. Then he spoke to him, calmed him down. He may need Mike Joris to win this football game.
And McKaylee, who started out white hot, 9 for 9 with a touchdown pass, is just 1 for 4 since, and is facing a 3rd and 13. This is what he can do, take off, but he's not going to be anywhere near even the original line of scrimmage as A.J. Rabel, the junior from Cary Grove, Illinois, comes up with the stop.
Big defensive series by Wisconsin Whitewater, because all of a sudden your offensive team's driving, they fumbled the ball. Mount Union gets it, tradition, a winning season. All of a sudden McKaylee's back in there. You stop them, you're going to get good field position for your offense again.
That's a 3 and out once they lost a couple of yards total. McKaylee, also the punter on this team, hangs one up. Fair catch taken at the 40 by Neil McVerka. So Wisconsin Whitewater down by 1, but again, pretty good field position. They start from their own 40 when we return.
Sports sedans have come to be regarded.
The NCAA Championships on ESPN, the NCAA Division III Football Championship. Brought to you by Infinity, makers of the all-new 306 horsepower G, designed beyond machine.
That's the Roanoke City Market. Opened up in 1844, one of the oldest continuously operated open-air markets in the Commonwealth. They had some kettle corn down there this weekend. Oh, good kettle corn, baby. Down there in Roanoke. Some good stuff. As we all anticipate Sports Center coming up. Really neat little downtown area, very historic. Roanoke right next door to Salem where we're playing. That pass looking for the tight end. Schmidt, but Tony DeRiggi got in there and was able to break it up.
Yeah, Keith Wakefield, who coaches the linebackers, told me Tony DeRiggi is an outstanding linebacker, can run. He was right there, almost had that pick.
DeRiggi with 3 interceptions on the season, second team all-conference, along with Matt Reese as they play this 5-2-5 configuration. They have the 2 linebackers in there. And it's 2nd and 10. For Wisconsin Whitewater. Beaver getting the football going around the left side, and he is tackled down a couple of yards short of the first down by Matt Reese, the other linebacker.
Hey, Pam, how about the excitement in this football game? Wouldn't it be something if we had 4 teams left in Division I? Ohio State, Florida, Michigan, maybe LSU or Louisville in the 4th team. What excitement we would have in Division I football.
Yeah, the playoff system is, again, 32 teams go in Division III, so they play 5 extra games, which I think is a little bit too much, but there's no way you compare excitement in a regular bowl to what's going on right here, because this means something. Bowl games are, except for one game, exhibitions. Cal Schmidt, the right tackle, moving for Wisconsin Whitewater.
Prior to the snap, false start, 76 on the offense, 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
I've also seen better fundamentals in this football game. Blocking, tackling, crispness of the offense and defense than I've seen in Division I football. So I just think the fundamentals these coaches, both sides are teaching, are outstanding.
And in case you're wondering, there are no scholarships in Division III. A lot of the guys get grants and aid and some other financial help, but no athletic scholarships. 3rd and 7 for the Warhawks. Jacobs looking for someone to come open, and he fires it towards Schmidt, the tight end, again, as a flag is down upfield and the pass falls incomplete. Jacobs with quite a bit of improvisation on that play, and an ineligible man downfield because it did take forever to develop.
Forever and ever. They're doing a good job of making contact with Derek Stanley.
Ineligible downfield on the offense, number 76. That penalty is declined. It'll be 4th down.
Jonah Wilson is playing so well in the secondary. He's the reason they can't get the ball to Derek Stanley.
Here's number 37, the junior quarterback. Corner who always draws the toughest wide receiver, and today that is Stanley. And as Mike mentioned, he has done a really good job. Stanley with 3 catches for 50 yards has been bottled up, particularly in the second half. Broke gets that punt off. Mountain Union has blocked 9 kicks this year, and they almost got to that one, but it takes a good Whitewater roll. 38-yard punt. Mountain Union, the defending champions, trying to make it 2 in a row, take over from the 19 with a 1-point lead in the Division III National Championship. Mountain Union on ESPN for the Division III National Championship. And a couple of players also missed graduation for this. He had graduation last week at Whitewater. And if you want to know where these schools are, here is a map to show you exactly where they are. Whitewater, about 50 miles or so away from Milwaukee. And Alliance, Ohio, the home of Mount Union, right in the cradle of a great football area, obviously, around Canton and Youngstown. And we are just outside of Roanoke, Salem and Roanoke, kind of like Minneapolis and St. Paul, right up against each other. Pass complete from McKaylee, who's back in, to Anthony Antonucci, the tight end who caught a touchdown in the first half, gets 14 yards and a first down.
Cam, I ran into 2 teachers last night, Dave Hoagland and Kevin Garvar, and they drove 16 hours from Whitewater. I think they skipped their classes and drove through 6 states to get here.
Well worth it. Great atmosphere as Mountain Union gets its first down of the half. McKaylee with a lot of time, and he delivers. First down catch by Justin Ray, who gets into Whitewater territory.
And one thing about Mountain Union, they're explosive. You have to take your opportunities on offense. And I think Whitewater would like to have a couple plays back, a couple mistakes. But this Mountain Union team has won a lot of games. They're explosive, and the big play is on their side.
Ray with 17 yards on that last play. Both teams coming into this game 14-0 on the season. Mick with the handoff. Gets it down around the 45-yard line. Picked up 3. Rabel coming up with another stop. We have him for 7 tackles today.
And good, crisp tackling. I mean, they hit.
Good fundamental football. Mount Union with 103 rushing yards today. That's only the 3rd time that Whitewater has given up 100 yards to a team on the ground all year. As that pass is incomplete, no running back has run for 100 yards against Wisconsin Whitewater this season. Kamick right now, 15 carries for 70 yards. And if you're just joining us, Kamick last week had 371 yards on the ground.
You know, we talked about the single wing offense, but used to be when Bowden Wild was the coach at Tennessee, he had Johnny Majors, who was the tailback. But now you see the set and the quarterback's back there. So the threat of the pass, the old single wing that didn't have the threat of the pass. This is an added dimension.
Mount Union just 2 for 9 on 3rd down, and they convert to Pierre Garçon. Their big play receiver has a huge play. Touchdown, Purple Raiders.
46
A 46-yard touchdown. Pierre Garçon this year was on the national championship 4x100 relay team, and he showed us a little bit of that speed right there.
Pam, he's fast. He got a great block by Anthony Antonucci again downfield that sprung in for the 6 points.
Garçon leading this team in every receiving category with his 16th touchdown catch of the season as Zimmerman adds the extra point and Mount Union extends its lead to 21-13.
Greg McKaylee got hot again. They went back to throwing the football that bring Garçon across the middle. Catches the football. Now watch his takeoff speed. Watch the block of number 11, Antonucci, to allow him to score. There's a block by Antonucci, and Garçon is the Garçon. He's in the end zone.
He is the man. Garçon, technically meaning boy in French, but he is certainly the man on that play. He's been playing with a hurt wrist, has Garçon. And again, a national championship component on a 4x100 sprint team on the track team at Mount Union.
It's still only one score away, Whitewater. A 2-point conversion. They could tie this game up.
Pierre says hi, Mom. His folks settling in West Palm Beach, Florida. Both of his parents are from Haiti, who settled in the U.S., where Pierre was born. And Pierre delivering with a 46-yard touchdown catch and run. Short kick. Picked up by Trevor Hunt, yet again, the linebacker slash fullback, taking it just past the 30-yard line.
Since that big kickoff return by Wisconsin Whitewater, they've gone to the squib kick. Pretty good field position right here to hold Whitewater to the 31-yard line. Pretty good decision by Larry Karras.
Yep, they're kicking away from that guy, number 83, Jordan Wells, who had an 81-yard kick return in the second quarter that set up a touchdown that cut the Mount Union lead from 14 to 3. Garçon on the sideline just got the 46-yard touchdown. Beaver that was strung out very nicely by that Mount Union defense. Darrell Eli making the stop, and he loses a yard.
And Justin Beaver didn't get the ball cleanly again from the quarterback, Justin Jacobs. They fumbled one just before the half, almost fumbled that one.
Instead, it just goes for a 1-yard loss.
Here's Smith right there, the tight end. Be a big play receiver for this team.
Jacobs with time finds Derek Stanley on the crossing route, and Stanley stopped a couple of yards short of the first down by Anthony Ursetti.
Tackle made by number 10.
This is the Division III Championship, the 34th annual Amos Alonzo Stag Bowl, coming your way from Salem, Virginia for the second straight season. Mount Union and Whitewater, Wisconsin Whitewater, playing for the national championship. Mount Union won it last year, as Whitewater is trying to send its longtime head coach, Bob Razorowitz, out with the national championship. This is his last game. He announced his retirement actually a year ago, said 2006 would be his final season. Razorowitz trying to get the national championship, and on 3rd and 1, Trevor Hunt, the fullback, with his first carry, is able to bull his way up to the 45.
That was a good call by Stan Sweeple, because everybody in the stadium thought Justin Beaver was going to get that football. Good change-up.
Hunt on the season, the true freshman from Muskego, Wisconsin, only 8 rushes coming into this football game. Came in as a linebacker, but again moved to fullback because Travis Ruin broke his ankle about a month and a half ago and has been out ever since. 1st and 10 from the 45. Jacobs, oh, he's got time, looking for Stanley, and again he overthrows him. as Stanley has been locked up in a battle all day with Jonah Wilson.
Yeah, Jonah Wilson's winning too. And sometimes you just throw the football, you just put too much mustard on it, and that's what Justin Jacob did on that play. Threw the ball too far. Just fired it out there.
Wilson, a second-team all-conference performer in his first season starting at corner. This is what they're playing for, the Division III National Championship trophy. Wilson is a first-year starter, doing a great job on Stanley, the game breaker for Whitewater. 2nd and 10. Knocked down at the line of scrimmage. Sam Vucevic coming in and knocking down the pass. The senior from Beaver Falls, Pennsylvania.
Gonna come right here, get his hands on the football, blocked, raises his right hand, deflects the football.
So that brings up a 3rd and 10. Sam, a 5th-year senior, but a first-year starter. And the Purple Raider fans starting really to get into this football game. There are more of them here than Whitewater fans, a shorter trip for them.
How about the crossing route right there with Stanley?
Well, they send him straight down the field. He's beaten his man, but they're going for Schmidt right down the middle. Boy, Stanley, for a change, was able to get behind Wilson, but Jacobs decided to take a shot downfield with his big tight end, Schmidt.
Pete Smith, Vince Karras, the defensive assistant for Mount Union, said, Pete Smith worries me more than any player on the field because he's so big and runs so well. Just out of his reach.
Well, it really does run well for a guy who's about 6'4", 250. Poked into punt, and it's blocked. The 10th block kick by Mount Union this year turns into a touchdown.
Nick Brooks, punt, attempt, blocked by number 9, Matt Kostelnik.
Matt Reese picks it up, takes it in for the score.
Matt Kostelnik blocked the kick. He has already blocked 2 punts this year, making 3.
Mount Union.
Croak gets the punt blocked, and Mount Union now leads 27-13. Mike Zimmerman makes it 28-13. So the Purple Raiders, known for being dangerous on special teams, Matt Kostelnik, this 3rd block punt of the season. And then the ball is picked up and taken in by Matt Reese, the junior linebacker.
You always teach your players, defenders. Matt Kostelnik went to take the ball off the foot of the kicker. And that's exactly what he did. He had his hands stretched out. They worked on that. Matt Kostelnik's got it down because that's his 3rd.
Certainly the big play guy. He has 7 sacks on the season, 5 interceptions. He scored 4 touchdowns himself, 2 on interception returns, 2 on fumble returns, and 3 block punts, that one directly leading to the touchdown, the 8th non-offensive touchdown this season for Larry Karras' team.
Talked about tradition. This team, you have to beat Mount Union. Mount Union they're used to winning football games and close games.
They were going for their 9th national championship since 1993. That kick is fielded by Derek Stanley as they continue to kick away from Jordan Wells. Stanley able to return it up to around the 32-yard line. If you want to learn more about the Division III Football Championship, the game you're watching, for everything on this game or any other of the 88 NCAA championships, simply log on to ncaasports.com. And some more championships over the weekend. Appalachian State, the formerly known as Division I AA champion, doing it again, and the same for Grand Valley today in Division II. Will Mount Union make it a triple-double? Stanley with the catch. Takes a big hit along the sideline and stays standing. But it's a first down after a 13-yard gain.
You talked about Appalachian State, and Larry Garrison, the staff, visited with Appalachian State, and they did wisely, because all of a sudden then they get a quarterback like Greg McKaylee. And so all of a sudden you're running the same kind of offense as Appalachian State.
App State with Armani Edwards, the incredible freshman quarterback. We got to see him last week, and oh my, what a career he has ahead of him.
And that Richardson, the running back, he's outstanding.
So congratulations to Appalachian State on a great season, as Beaver can't turn the corner. We heard that hit from up here. Lost 5 tough yards. Tony DeRiggi again making the stop.
The other thing, you look at Mount Union, they look like they're getting strong as this game goes on.
DeRiggi with the hit. The junior from Cranberry Township, Pennsylvania. And on a 2nd and 15, the timeout actually taken by the defense and Mount Union.
Mount Union.
They were coming on a blitz right there, so the coaches may have decided, hey, maybe we don't need to blitz them right here.
Purple Raiders up in this one, 28-13. Some of the big plays of this game.
Pierre Garçon with the catch from McKaylee and shows his speed. The block punt by Kostelnik. Reese picks it up. Mount Union beats you every way possible. The offense is solid, defense and special teams.
Both of those plays coming in the third quarter. McKaylee to Garçon for a 46-yard touchdown. Garçon showing his sprinter speed. And Matt Reese, a 34-yard return of a Matt Kostelnik block punt. And just like that, the 14-13 halftime lead has ballooned out to 28-13.
And really the pressure is on Justin Jacobs, the quarterback, because they're going to have to throw in this football game. They're having trouble running here in the second half. He's going to do it by air.
Jacobs, the senior, has career Whitewater records for touchdown yards, attempts, and completions. Completes that one to the tight end, Schmidt. Schmidt on a play, a 2nd and 15 play, got 17 yards and the first down.
Well, you're right about him. I think when you look at pro prospects, I'm sure Pete Schmidt's going to get a look because of the size and his speed downfield.
6'4", listed at 247, the senior from Mount Horeb, Wisconsin. Another first-team all-conference player, and Jacobs really has been looking to him here in the third quarter. Time finds his man along the sideline, Derek Stanley. And Stanley is tackled down about a yard or so short of the first down by Jonah Wilson, who has been wearing him like a blanket all night.
Derek Stanley with a stop route right here. Stops, gets the ball. He's anxious. Then he picks up another couple yards.
Good route for him, wasn't it? Because Wilson continued to go downfield.
Yeah, he went back because the covering the deep third. Derek Stanley was right there.
One way to get him off of you with that stop route. Stanley now 6 catches for 82 yards. Beaver drags a defender past the 30-yard line and picks up a first down.
I like the way Stan Sweeple is calling this game right now, because he's mixing up the run, the pass, leaning on the pass because he has to throw the football. Mount Union too tough on defense to run the ball consistently.
Zweifel, the offensive coordinator, says that they have a more balanced offense than they've been used to, and he says that has really been the key to Whitewater's success. Working on this drive, 1st and 10 from the 30, big time pressure, so Jacobs has to get rid of it in a hurry. As he had some Purple Raiders, including Chaz Yoder and Tony DeRiggi, bearing down on him.
Yeah, Vince Karras, the coach's, Larry Karras' son, is the defensive guy. He brought the blitz. He said, I'm tired of watching Jacobs sit back there with nobody in his face. I'm going to bring some heat.
Karras, just 30 years old, is Vince. Wanted to be a lawyer when he went to school, but then decided that he wanted to be a teacher, was a high school coach, and has been working for his father for the last few seasons. Now the defensive coordinator. Beaver with a little burst of speed and then lowers his head as he went right up against Nick Barron, and he is close to the 1st down marker.
Good block by Brent Allen, the center, against McCullough, nose guard, so a good key block.
Justin Beaver broke that collarbone earlier in the season, missed 5 games, now has 84 yards on the ground.
And that was a good call right there, because all of a sudden you're in long yardage situation, a delayed draw.
And it is 3rd and 1. Jacobs keeps it and gets the 1st down for the Warhawks. Stop his clock momentarily to reset the chains with 16 seconds left to go in the 3rd quarter of this Division III championship.
A lot of time for Whitewater.
Wisconsin Whitewater, 214 total yards to 258 for Mount Union. 2 very good defensive teams. Jacobs looking for Stanley, and he throws it up too high and incomplete. And that is the end of the 3rd quarter. So Mount Union scoring 2 touchdowns in the 2nd half, one of them directly off a block punt, going for 2 in a row. Larry Karras' team heads to the 4th quarter, leading Wisconsin Whitewater 28-13.
To the concession stand, located on the
Wisconsin Whitewater trailing 28-13 to defending national champion Mount Union as we get ready to start the 4th quarter in Salem for the Division III championship. And there are some of the fans that have come down from Wisconsin Whitewater as Bob Brzezowicz, coaching in his final game. He had announced again last year that this would be his final season, and this is the only way to end it really is in the national championship game.
He choked up when he was talking to Holly, and Forrest Perkins, his former head coach, that was decided to get into coaching because of Forrest Perkins.
Brzezowicz was a very good quarterback in the mid-60s at Whitewater. 10th play of the drive, 2nd and 10 from the 19. Jacobs being pursued, throws it out of bounds wisely because there was great coverage, and he was being pursued by Nick Parr. Let's head down to Holly, who has more on the coach of Whitewater.
Well, Coach Bob Brzezowicz was a great quarterback. He still holds one of the records for 5 touchdowns in a game that he set back in 1966. But more importantly, he's the only person to actually play in 2 national championships, one in baseball in 1965 and one in the NAIA championship in football in 1966. And now he's coaching in a national championship. And guys, you talked about Forrest Perkins being a big influence on him coaching. Well, when he got to college, his name was actually Barowitz. Coach Perkins called him Brzezowicz, and it's been Brzezowicz ever since.
Most coaches can't pronounce their players' names as that pass is incomplete. Looking for Neil Merton-Vicka over the middle as the pressure continues on Jacobs. You were a head coach. I'm sure you blew a couple of names, right?
I could get Smith and Allen
there you go.
Hyman and some of those, but I couldn't get the long ones.
But quite a tribute as the head coach has changed the pronunciation of his name because of his mentor. So 4th down, they're going to have to settle for a 36-yard field goal attempt from Jeff Shebler. And Shebler The true freshman has really been a terrific kicker all season, delivers yet again. That is his third field goal of the day, and it trims Mount Union's lead to 28-16. 14 minutes and 46 seconds left to go in this national championship. Mount Union has a 55-game winning streak. That was an NCAA record from 2000 to 2003. 8 Division III national championships, also an NCAA record, and 7 unbeaten seasons. Trying to make it 8. They can do that with a win over Wisconsin Whitewater. One thing Larry Karras doesn't like are the Gatorade or ice water showers at the end. He was not pleased there, but what a tremendous job he has done for this school in Mount Union that has 2,300 students.
A gentleman, too.
Yeah.
Great football coach, but even a better guy.
He was a swimming coach there for a while as well at Mount Union, and admits he was, a little bit out of his element, but one heck of a football coach. After the Wisconsin Whitewater field goal, Kamick, the leading rusher for Mount Union, gets the kickoff and takes a big hit after a 24-yard return. Now, all-time win percentage among coaches. This is how good Larry Karras is. When you're better than Newt Rockne, you're pretty good.
Pam, when you look at coaching, they say, when you're a high school coach or a junior college or a Division III, 2, 1AA, I know it's changed that, Division I, it's all the same. You can be the best coach if you're coaching a Division III or a junior high coach.
He was 20 games in 21 seasons. Remarkable. McKaylee gets the first down as the sophomore picks up 14 yards. So he's able to get himself out of all sorts of trouble. He got a good tackle there by Nate Kamick, or a good block, excuse me, by Nate Kamick. And we said that Coach Karras was also the swimming coach. Here is visual proof of that. Back in 1977, he's got the stopwatch. He's ready to roll.
Doesn't look excited. he's more excited in football. Swimming, not so fast.
I think he's thinking about football season there. On first down, Kamick gets the carry and gets about 3 yards. Let's go back to Holly Rowe for more on Coach Karras.
Well, Coach Karras told me a few years ago that when he was coaching that swimming team, back in 1984, they won a relay in its conference championship meet. He said his greatest fear was that his players were going to throw him into the pool and find out after all those years coaching, he didn't know how to swim. That's just one great illustration of Coach Karras. He's a good coach at just about anything he tries, whether he knows how to do it or not.
He would have gone right to the bottom of the pool and looked for help.
How about that? A swimming coach who can't swim.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe a first, but he certainly has found his calling as a football coach. 2nd and 6 for his Purple Raiders. Garcon gonna throw the football downfield, and it's incomplete, but flags fly as Maxwell Smith was hit by Gabe Schultz. That's the second pass that Garcon has thrown this year. He threw one for a touchdown pass earlier in the season.
I like the call by Matt Campbell. His dad's a former coach in Massillon Jackson. Yeah, he follows in his dad's footsteps with a great call there. There's the handoff. They sold the run. All of a sudden, the pass. Maxwell Smith. Gabe Schultz called for the interference.
Very close call.
They're not playing. I've seen a lot of close calls. They're not playing conservative. They're playing to win this football game. Every call they make. This is both well-coached football teams.
Matt Campbell is only 27 years old, an offensive coordinator. They have a 30-year-old defensive coordinator in Vince Karras, Larry's son. Kamick goes down.
How about those hits?
Oh, boy. A.J. Rabel came at him full speed. His 8th tackle of the day was a big one. That's a big hit and a 2-yard loss.
Here's the option play. McKaylee heads up. pitches the ball, Raybould right there to make the hit. You know, we're talking about Larry Karras. Kent State came after him to be the head coach. He decided to stay at Mount Union. I think there's something about staying right there and coaching your entire career at the same place.
Especially if you're comfortable as he is. Big catch. Pierre Garçon able to go up and get it in front of Ben Farley and survive a hit. First down, Mount Union.
Pierre Garçon is a big-time wide receiver. And a lot of these guys you see in Division III could play in Division I. No doubt. Corner route, but watch the hit he takes in the back by Ben Farley. Ben Farley's had a big day. Interception, 2 pass breakups, 6 tackles.
Now 6 catches for Garçon for 99 yards. His second year at Mount Union, played his first year at Norwich and Vermont. All 3 seasons in college, he's caught 1,000 yards worth of passes, including this season. As McKaylee holds on to it and picks up a couple on first down.
They're working on the clock and working on this football game at this point.
Nothing more that they would want than to chew up a couple more minutes on this drive, plus get points. Mount Union led by 1 at the half, and now up 28-16. McKaylee complete to the 10-yard line for a short gain as he finds Anthony Antonucci, the tight end, who caught a touchdown back in the first quarter.
Pam, Ohio's got about 13 million people, I think, give or take a million. But when you look at Alliance, Ohio, and they're sitting right there with Kent, Akron, Youngstown State, we saw it last week. All good football teams. You got the University of Cincinnati, Bowling Green, Ohio State playing Division I football. But yet Mount Union still recruits and does well in Alliance, Ohio.
3rd and 4. Pass complete to who else? Garçon leaps into the end zone. Touchdown. Pierre Garçon with his 2nd touchdown catch of the game.
Well, what an effort to get in the end zone. That was a big-time hurdle and a big-time pass.
So Garçon with his 2nd touchdown catch of the day, 17th of the season. Zimmerman with the extra point, and Mount Union has exploded here in the second half. The Purple Raiders going for their 2nd straight national championship at 9th overall. Some style points for Garçon as he leaps for 6.
Football Championship presented on ESPN by Enterprise Rent-A-Car. We'll pick you up. And in part by Verizon Wireless.
Little ice sculpture there. I think folks in Wisconsin use those things for trees and cutting down stuff like that, right? Here they just cut up ice for the holiday season. Looks like a swan of some sort. Pierre Garçon, his 6th multi-touchdown game of the season, his 2nd touchdown catch today. And that was a nice drive. 7 plays, 63 yards, ate up 3 minutes and 50 seconds.
Yeah, Pierre Garçon is explosive on any level.
Track star for them and has been a star today. Now over 100 yards receiving on the day. 7 catches for 109 yards and 2 touchdowns, including a 46-yard touchdown pass that he caught in the 3rd quarter. So Whitewater has to score in a hurry. Again, kicking away from Jordan Wells. Murkvika, number 1, picks it up. And now Murkvika takes a vicious hit at the end, but still bounces up as he returns it 35 yards to the 46-yard line. Joseph Millings came in and laid a lick on him.
Now the clock becomes a factor. Wisconsin Whitewater. Pressure goes again. Justin Jacobs has to get some quick scores. 2-time Conference Player of the Year
It is his final collegiate game, as it is for his head coach. And Jacobs going downfield looking for the freshman Matt Gifford again, but that's incomplete as we get more words here from Holly. Holly.
Hey guys, just to update you on that coaching search for Wisconsin Whitewater, because they are part of the University of Wisconsin educational system, they have to follow those employment rules and open the job up. They are going to interview 4 candidates next week, and I spoke with athletic director Paul Plinsky. He said, we want to make sure we have the right guy, and if our offensive coordinator is the right guy, he will separate himself in that interview process.
Yeah, Holly, tell him he is the right guy. Just hire him.
Stan Zwiefel is the longtime assistant coach at Wisconsin Whitewater as Jacobs escapes and is tackled down in Mount Union territory, picked up 7. So they do, because it's a public university, they will go out, they have to look at other candidates, but Mike Gottfried says there's no doubt who should be the next head coach.
There's no doubt when you win 28 of 29 games in the program, you have to move up. Stan Zwiefel has been there 16 years. He's been a head coach in college football. Hire him.
Resowich retiring. 9 minutes and 53 seconds of playing time from now. They've had trouble on the exchange all night, but Beaver picks it up and is dragged down close to the first down.
Pam, we talked about Bob Bresovich leaving last game. Just think about this. A lot of seniors on the field, about 40 seniors on this field playing their last game, and how much it means to win this football game. And the last time they're going to put that uniform on for Wisconsin Whitewater and Mount Union. So teams becomes teams because they play together, they win together, they lose together, they cry together, they laugh together, they're just sing together. Everything it makes you a team, and this is the last time some of these guys are going to be on this field for their team.
And they are playing in the ultimate game, the Division III championship, as they bring the chains all the way across the field to measure for the first down. And it is 4th and just a couple of inches.
Quarterback sneak. Get this first down.
Justin Jacobs, one of those seniors that you talked about.
Yeah, Justin Jacobs. Take the quarterback sneak.
There's the stars for these teams. Justin Beaver and Nate Kamick, respectively, will be back next season. Beaver junior, Kamick a sophomore. And there's Beaver. Real tough kid. Coaches love him as he came back from that collarbone injury, had to have a plate inserted, and was cleared to play about 4 weeks after he broke his collarbone, which is one of the most painful injuries you can have, period, much less when you're trying to play football. 4th and inches. Jacobs does hold on to it and does get the first down for the Warhawks.
Hey, Pam, Joe Parrish is the running back coach, so he coaches Justin Beaver. His wife's going to deliver a baby anytime, Raquel Parrish, back in Wisconsin Whitewater. I asked him, I said, if it's a boy, what are you going to name him? He said, hopefully Champ. Now, that may be a surprise to Raquel.
Yeah, I don't think Raquel's going to vote for that. Maybe a nickname if they can pull this victory out. Jacobs with the pump and connects.
Good catch.
Neil Merkvicka, the senior from Greendale, Wisconsin, gets 20 yards in the first down.
Neil Merkvicka made this football catch. He washed the ball into his hands. And this football team's still not out of this game. They can strike fast.
Good job holding on to it as Boy Wilson came up and hit him.
21 yards on the completion.
Merkvicka has already graduated, actually is in grad school, studying sociology, does some tutoring on his own. Jacobs takes a shot and it was almost intercepted, but 2 Mount Union players ran into each other.
Number 16, Justin Jacobs.
Nick Barron and Darrell Eli running into each other. Otherwise, that would have been an interception.
And Nick Barron had to pick I don't know where Justin Jacobs was throwing unless the receiver ran the wrong route. At the last minute, broke the wrong way. I saw a corner route. He threw it for a post route.
And that was Schmidt, the tight end, who was going there in the corner. Big time pressure and down. A great tackle as Jacobs goes down. Matt Reese, the junior linebacker, streaked up there for a 10-yard loss.
Boy, Matt Reese, he's been all over the field this whole football game. Matt Reese with a big play here in the sack from Dover High School. Dover's a good football school area, and he has 6 sacks on the season.
And a touchdown on a block punt in the third quarter. It really broke this game open, made it 28-13 Mount Union. 3rd and 20. Jacobs going for the freshman Gifford again, but it's off of his fingertips. So it's 4th and 20. Is this to the point in the game now, Mike, where you just go for it?
Yeah,
even though
you
it's
got to go for it here. Matt Gifford, that was a catchable ball. Just couldn't bring it in. Yes, you got to go for this. Mount Union, they can't stop them right now on defense, so you have to apply some pressure here.
Chance of defense coming up from the Mount Union fans. 4th and 20 for Wisconsin Whitewater. Jacobs going in the end zone for Stanley, and it's knocked away.
Justin Jacobs' pass incomplete.
Stanley double covered down there in the corner. Mount Union will take over.
A 3-man rush, which means you're going to drop 8 in the coverage. That's why it was so tough for Justin Jacobs to find somebody.
Anthony Ursetti and Jonah Wilson closing in on Derek Stanley. Mount Union closing in on its 9th national championship. Number 1, Pierre Garçon has had a big game for the Purple Raiders as they lead Wisconsin Whitewater 35-16. Garçon, a couple of touchdown catches. And this one, 10-yard catch. On the leap into the end zone, he has 7 catches for 109 yards and 2 touchdowns. The speedster for Mount Union. That dream come true was presented by Disney Theme Parks.
There's a song. I have the record still. Just a Dream by the Everly Brothers. You have never heard it.
Is that final?
Is that final?
It's still. Is it on CD or is it on vinyl?
I don't
Do you
know.
play it? You still have a record player?
It was a dark record that goes on the.
Is it a 78? Wasn't that old?
33.
Okay, 33 RPMs. Commit gets 1 yard on that carry.
Have you ever heard of the Everly Brothers?
I have heard of the Everly Brothers. Bye Bye Love. Didn't they do that? How about that? On Oldies Radio.
Just a Dream. Oh, that was a marvelous
Was
song.
that? Did that work for you?
I don't know what you mean by working, but I used to dance to that record. I couldn't dance either.
No, at least you tried.
I'm like Larry Karras. I couldn't swim. I couldn't dance.
2nd and 9 for Mount Union. Larry Karras' team would just love to chew out the rest of this time as Greg McKayley, the sophomore quarterback, hangs on to it. McKayley coming in and playing most of the way at quarterback in relief of Mike Joris. Joris is a senior playing his final collegiate game tonight. And McKayley, only a sophomore, as I mentioned, and he had to do the punting this year because they really, last year, the punter they had wasn't getting it off quickly enough. But Mount Union has a punter in waiting, so they think McKayley next year can just concentrate 100% of his time on being the quarterback. 3rd and 7 for the Raiders. And they connect again to Pierre Garçon, who leaps forward close to the first down marker.
In both the games we've had the last 2 weeks, Appalachian State and Youngstown, Mount Union, Wisconsin Whitewater, seen the backs and receivers get the extra yard. They work hard at that, getting missing somebody, stretching the ball out, and getting the first down.
Garcon with the big smile. Coming up next on ESPN when the Division III National Championship game is over, SportsCenter comes your way as we get you up to date on what's been going on today, including a couple of national championships in football. McKaylee on the day has only thrown 4 incomplete passes, 17 for 21. Hands it off to Kamick. Kamick, who had 371 yards on the ground last week, which doesn't sound possible. 371 on the ground, is stopped just short of the first down marker on that play.
And Joe Cockley, the running back coach, says about Kamick, he's the heartbeat of our offense.
9 yards on the carry.
Nate Kamick gets his football. The offensive line does a good job, makes somebody miss down the football field, cutting them with the ball and pick up the yardage.
In this game, Kamick broke Chuck Moore's single-season rushing record. Moore, another great running back in this Mount Union, in the history of this Mount Union franchise and school. McKaylee trying to stretch for the first down, but he won't get it as he is twisted around. Tristan Borzak now double-digit tackles as we head back down to the field in Holly Rowe.
Well, guys, you said Nate Kamick is the heartbeat of this Mount Union offense. There's for good reason. He is one of the more durable backs they've ever had. Consider this. Last year, his season high, 48 carries in one game. In the Stag Bowl last year, 38 carries in that game. Several times in the playoffs this year, he's gone over 35 carries. And guys, I asked him, how are you doing it? How are you able to keep going like that? And he said, well, I'm pretty much living on Tylenol right now. He feels bad after the game, but he said, I'm playing for the guys around me. I just can't let them down.
That's right. That's what he says. It is all about the other guys. As that pass is complete to the tight end, Antonucci for the first down. Picked up 8 when they needed only a couple for the third down. But Kamick in the playoffs, as Holly mentioned, last week against St. John Fisher, 42 carries. The week before against Capital, 38 carries. And then 29 the week before that. But he had 371 yards last week on 42 carries. That's a lot of carries, but that's still 8.8 yards every time he carried the football.
Yeah, Nate Kamick is 5'8", went to Delta High School in Delta, Ohio, small school. He wanted to go to the Mid-American Conference, but I'm sure they looked at him and said, well, I don't know if he can play it. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you, he can't play it.
He is listed at 5'9" as Kamick gets the ball again. Probably not that tall, but there was talk maybe he could walk on at a school like Bowling Green, something like that. But comes to Mount Union, and he played 1 junior varsity game last year. And Larry Karras saw him in practice and thought, hey, this guy can help me on the big squad. And boy, has he helped him. Really coming on just in the playoffs last year. And has been the man all season long. And he's got a couple of more years to go. And they're going to Kamick. He's the guy to go to when you want to let the clock run down. We're inside of 3 minutes. Alex Thompson with the stop.
And Nate Kamick could play at a lot of places. A lot of these players can in Division III. They could play in Division I. And Larry Karras and Bob Breslage, these coaches could coach in Division I. No difference. I'm telling you, Larry Karras could win if he was coaching in Division I.
Very good, incredible football coach. Losing only 20 games in 21 seasons and about to go to 15-0 this season. Kamick again, carrying it for a first down. Gabe Schultz makes the stop, but it's 5 more yards for Nate.
It's something about Division III, too. And we had Appalachian State and Youngstown. Just pure, and it's healthy. And to talk to these young men, you know, they're good guys. The coaches, they're happy that we're here. And they're not spoiled.
No,
they're not past that point where they maybe think of themselves a little bit. These guys are true team guys. No scholarships in Division III. As
Kmick closing in on another 100-yard day. Boy, it's late in the game. He's playing his 15th game of the season. He's living on Tylenol, and he broke a couple more tackles on that play, and he's still bruising.
Well, the MVP in the game last year was Nate Kmick. I don't know about the MVP in this game, but I would say Greg McKaylee has got a good shot at that award.
And Pierre Garçon, both of them playing really well. As Kmick now 98 yards on the day on 23 carries. Mount Union. Over 6 minutes of clock on this drive. And with that carry, Kmick goes over 100 yards on the day. Meanwhile, on the other sideline, Bob Brzezowicz sees a 22-year career at Whitewater as its head coach. He was a terrific quarterback there. And what must be going through his head right now?
28 out of 30. He knows he prepared his team. He was up against a Mount Union team better than he was this game, but he's had a lot of fun. He's meant a lot to his players at Whitewater over the years. He's taught them a lot of lessons.
Kmick, first down, taken down at the 10, and that'll do it. Brzezowicz going to spend some more time with his grandchildren. Retiring at the age of 62. Larry Karras says he has no thoughts of retiring. Why should he? He has been terrific, and he's got himself another championship. 2 in a row for Mount Union, 9 overall. A very impressive second half. The Purple Raiders up 1 at the break. Up 35-16, and we have a celebration that's a bit premature. Now they have to get him off the field, including Holly Rowe, who was down there ready to grab somebody.
Holly, there's a timeout. Get off the field.
I'm off, guys. I'm off.
Okay. And now the clock rolls. Holly, you can go on the field now. The Purple Raiders of Mount Union complete a 15-0 perfect season, winning their 9th national championship and 2nd in a row. Larry Karras gives Brzezowicz a congratulatory handshake as he ends his career after 22 seasons, and the Purple Raiders take it by the final of 35-16. Greg McKaylee with 3 touchdown passes, a couple of them to Pierre Garçon. We're coming back with more. Mount Union does it again. The Purple Raiders